Hello everyone, welcome to Salesforce Network, Salesforce Administrator tutorial. Topic what we are going to cover in this session, that is data security model. In that we are going to see record level security. So already we had seen object level security and field level security. So in this session we are going to see record level security. In that record level security we are going to see sharing rules. So data security model is like object level security, field level security, record level security. This is further categorized into OWD, rule hierarchy, sharing rules. Sharing rules again of two types, owner based sharing, criteria based sharing, then manual sharing and apex based sharing. In this session we are going to see sharing rules. This is of two types, owner based sharing and criteria based sharing. So what is sharing rules? It is used to extend record access to users or group of users who may not have access through the OWD or rule hierarchy. So if the user or group of user is not getting the access by OWD or rule hierarchy, in that case we are going with sharing rules. Sharing rules provide a flexible way to open up access to records beyond the standard sharing model, ensuring that certain users or teams or roles can collaborate effectively. Sharing rules only extend the access, but they can't restrict the access. It should be created only for the objects whose OWD organization wide default is private. Sharing rules are designed to grant additional access to records, making them visible to a larger group of users or users. So sharing rule is going to provide some additional amount of access. It is not made for restricting the access. These rules are used when certain users need access to data but are not in the role hierarchy that naturally grants them access. So if it is not possible with role hierarchy, then we are going to use sharing rules. Sharing rules can grant access based on record ownership. Sharing rules are of two types, owner based sharing rule and criteria based sharing rule. So let's see one by one. Types of sharing, owner based sharing. So here it shares the record based on who owns them. So who is the owner of that particular record? They are going to share that record. These rules allow us to share records owned by the certain users with other users based on their roles or subordinates or public groups. So here if someone is owning the record, they are going to share the records. In criteria based sharing, it is sharing the record based on a specific field value. So if the criteria is meeting, then automatically it is sharing the records. This allows sharing records that meet certain condition with users or roles or public groups regardless of who own them. So here who is owning that particular record doesn't matter. Here on the behalf of criteria it is going to share the records. So what are the components involving in sharing the records? Shared object. So object will be there. The object on which the sharing rule is being set up. So object may be standard object or custom object. like account, contact, opportunity, lead, cases, and also with custom objects. So as per business requirement, we are creating the custom objects. We can go with that also. Next, rule type. So rule type is what? Which type of sharing we are going to use? Owner based sharing or criteria based sharing. Next, users to share with. So to whom we are going to share that particular records? They may be group of user or roles or public groups that will be granted access. Next, access level will be there. So it is going to determine the level of access being granted. It can be either public read only or public read write. So in these two cases, we can share the record. So today's assignment is, it is a type of scenario. So owner based sharing rule example, suppose the OWD of account is set to private. So account is a standard object in Salesforce. So if the access level of account is private or OWD is private, so if the account organization by default is private, so in that case the sales team needs to share their accounts with the marketing team. In the organization there are sales team, marketing team, finance team. So here what the scenario is, sales team wants to share their account records with marketing team. So in this case, an owner based sharing rule can be created that automatically share any account owned by a user in the sales team role with marketing team role. So users in the sales team, if they are owning the record, then by owner based sharing, automatically these records it's getting shared by marketing team. So access label could be public read only or public read write. It is going to depend on the level of access needed by the marketing team. If they want only view the record, then we are going with public read only. If also they need to edit the record, then in that condition we are going to provide public read write. Criteria based sharing rule example, let's say there's a need to share all opportunities where the amount is greater than $50K with the finance team for review. So here in this example, opportunity, all the records have to be shared with finance team if the amount is greater than $50K. So here we can create a criteria based sharing rule for the opportunity object, specifying that the records where the amount field is greater than $50K, that record is being shared with finance team public group. So here we have to go with criteria based sharing rule. So the access label could be set to public read only so that the finance team can view only the record, but they can't modify that opportunity details. So as in the example itself, it is saying that they can review. So in that condition, we have to provide the access label public read only. If we are providing public read write, in that case finance team users can also modify that record. So in this scenario we have to go with public read only. So let's do the practical for the same. So to do the practical, just log into our Salesforce account. by providing the username and password. Hit the login button. So in this case, for account object, if we want to create the sharing rule, what we have to do? First, we have to search for sharing setting. So click on sharing setting. On which object we have to create? So that is for account object. So first we have to make the OWD for account is private. So here I am editing this account and making the OWD as private. So opportunity access must be private when the account access is set to private. Okay. So it's done. Our account is OWD is private. So scroll down. So here we are seeing account sharing rules. So up to now there is no sharing rules specified. So if all we need to create a sharing rule on account object, we need to click on new. So before creating the sharing rule, uh, let's create the public group. So I am clicking on setup, choose setup. So here in the administration, expand users. So there is a public group. So just click the public group. So here we are seeing already there is a public group demo, but for now I am going to create a public group with sales team, marketing team and finance team. So let's create the public group. Click on new. So sales team. So in the sales team I am going to put the user. So user A. As in the real time we are having so many users, so at that time there are number of users we have to select, but in our organization we have some limited users. So I am going to add this user A only in sales team. So click save. Next I am going to create marketing team. So in the marketing team I am going to add user B. So click add, click save. So in the marketing team there is user B, and also I am going to create finance team. Finance team. So in this what I am going to do, users, again I am going to take user A. So add, so click save. So we had created three team: sales team, marketing team and finance team. In the sales team there is user A, in the marketing team there is user B, and in the finance team again user A is there. So again coming back to our sharing setting. So again I need to refresh. Also whenever we are changing the organization wide default OWD. At the same time we are getting the message when it is getting done. So processing completed. So here we are getting the message like your request to change your organization wide default has successfully completed. As we had changed right now account OWD to private. So again coming to sharing setting, here I am scrolling down and coming to account sharing rules, simply clicking on new. Account sharing rule, use sharing rule to make automatic exceptions to your organization wide sharing setting for defined set of users. So here role and subordinate include all users in a role and roles below that role also. You can use sharing rules only to grant wider access to data, not to restrict access. So whenever we are using the sharing rule, it is open up access, it is not used for restricting the access. So here I am putting the rule name in step 1, owner based sharing. We can take any name here. So just press the tab, select your rule type based on record owner, OK, and select, and in step 3 select which records to be shared. So account owned by members of public group. So here I am going with public group. Which records is going to be shared? So sales team members record is going to shared. Select the user to share with, to whom we are going to share. In step 4 we have to define. So share with, again we are going with public group itself, and here to whom we are sharing, so to marketing team. So let's see again the PPT. So in the owner based sharing rule, the scenario is like on the accounts, if the OWD is private, then the sales team needs to share their accounts with marketing team. So we had created a sales team, and in sales team there is a user A. Also we had created a marketing team. In marketing team there is user B. So in this case owner based sharing we are creating that automatically shares accounts owned by user in the sales team to marketing team. So in step 3 select which records to be shared. So sales team record should be shared. To whom we have to share? So to the marketing team we have to share. Next it is saying that select the label of access for the users. So default account and contract access is read only, and opportunity access is private, and case is private. So click save. Here the pop-up message is coming. The recalculation of sharing access will continue in the background. You will receive an email notification upon completion. Do you want to continue? Yes. Okay. So after completion again we are going to get an email. So for the time being let's log in with user A credentials. So I am going with different browser, Edge, with the user A credentials. Hit the login button. So for the account, if the account is owned by a sales team, means user A, that all the records is automatically getting shared by the marketing team. Again, we have to cross verify with the roles also. So again, coming back to our primary account, Salesforce network. So let's open the users. So user A and user B. User A is having profile system administrator new. This is the custom profile, clone of system administrator, and user B is having standard platform user new profile. This is clone of standard platform user. Also they are having the roles. So for now I am removing the roles for both the user. So here I am going to provide none specified for user A. Again I am going with user B. I am removing the role for this user also. So click save. Also let's refresh it's done or not. So it's done. Next we are coming to view user A profile, user A account. So here user A means sales team member is going to create a record. So here I am going to create by the name sales. Team and clicking on save button. So I had created a sales team record. I am not putting any details with that. So owner of this sales team is user A. This record should be shared with user B. So again I am going to log in with user B credentials. So I am going with incognito window. So let's log in with user B credentials. Hit the login button. So sometimes it is asking for verification code. It is going to send to our email ID what we had given. So let's see. So this is the code what we have to provide here. Verify. So user B is in marketing team. So if the record is getting created by sales team, that record should be visible to marketing team, means user B. So this record is getting visible to marketing team person, means user B. So in the group of marketing team we had put user B. So next what we are going to do, Again coming to the PPT. Next is criteria based sharing rule example. Here what we have to do, we have to share all the opportunities where amount is greater than $50K with finance team. So in this condition we are going to create criteria based sharing rule, and in that we are defining the condition that if amount is greater than $50K, that all the records is getting shared by finance team, and also it is for only review. So here we are going to provide public read only access. So let's do. So coming to our primary account, Salesforce network. So in the sharing setting we need to scroll down. So on the opportunity sharing rule, so in the opportunity sharing rule section we need to click on new. So here I am going to say it like criteria based sharing. We can take here any name, select your rule type. So in the step 1 we are providing criteria based sharing rule name. In step 2 select your rule type. So here we are going with criteria based sharing. In step 3 we have to select which records to be shared. So what will be the condition? So here we are not finding the amount field, as the amount field is of number type. So here it is not available. So what I am going to do here, I am going to take lead source. So if the lead source is web, that record I am going to share with finance team. So here I am going with web, insert, select the users to share with. So public group, share with, and to whom I have to share, the finance team. In finance team there is user A, and opportunity access I am providing read only. So read only and read write, as the finance team can only view the record. So in that case I am providing the read only. If also I want to make them edit, in that case I am going to provide read write. For now I am going with read only. So click save. So again we are getting a pop-up message. The recalculation of sharing access will continue in the background. You will receive an email notification upon completion. Do you want to continue? Yes. So it is going to take a bit time. So let's refresh this. So it's done. So here what I am going to do, so here I am opening sales in new tab. So here we are seeing the opportunities, and so here I am going to create a new opportunity. So opportunity name I am taking criteria based sharing. And here I am going to take close date as today. So stage I am taking any one. prospecting. Then lead source, I am making it web. So this record is going to be shared on behalf of criteria, as we had taken the criteria lead source equals web. So in this condition, this particular record is going to be shared with finance team. So click save. So in the finance team, so this record is created with lead source web. So again, coming back to user A account. So this is user A account. Click on opportunities. So search for opportunity. Click on this. Click on all opportunities. So here we are seeing this record criteria based sharing, as this is meeting the criteria like lead source is web, so it is visible to user A. So like this we are going with criteria based sharing. So it's done.